What is happening? Come on. This has to be the silliest silly season that is like ever happened. So let's just start it from the beginning. Beginning as in 2 days ago, where Fernando Alonso signs a 3-year contract moving from Alpine to Aston Martin, which in its own is already a silly thing. But it makes sense. Aston Martin is this huge brand. They have lots of potential compared to Alpine, at least. Although Alpine is already in the better position, it might take Fernando Alonso a year or two to get to where he's at with Alpine currently with his new team. But in the end, it might be the better decision. We'll have to see. What that did, though, was basically clear the way for Alpine to sign Oscar Piastri, who of course has been their development driver. He's been a part of their program. He'll be running an FP1 session later in the year, at least we still think. But apparently this isn't the case. So Piastri has actually been, him and Mark Webber, who is his agent, have been in talks with other teams, specifically McLaren, because what has came out allegedly is that in Oscar Piastri's contract clause with the development driver is that if Alpine did not put him in their Formula One seat by 2023, then he is free to negotiate with other teams. So what Mark Webber and Oscar Piastri were thinking is that, okay, Fernando Alonso is going to get re-signed by Alpine. We're going to have free choice since we're not going to be in their seat. Let's start negotiating. Okay, we're really close to signing a deal with McLaren. But wait, now all of a sudden Fernando Alonso's not on the team. And out of nowhere, Alpine is going to blackmail us and say that we are driving for them next year, meaning that we will have the seat by 2023. And now our negotiations with the other team, allegedly McLaren, is not allowed anymore. So this is the whole legal battle that's going on. So like I said, I will take it from where it's at. So August 2nd, which is yesterday, Alpine could end up without Alonso or Piastri. Alpine and Piastri could be entering a legal battle regarding whether Piastri is still contractually bound to take the seat Alpine offers him. It seems like Piastri already has a pre-agreement with Alpine or with McLaren, which is what I was saying, the whole 2023 thing. Otmar Szafnauer, who is the team principal of Alpine, says Alonso did not tell him he was leaving the team and assumed Alonso would continue with Alpine, which is also part of the reason why it made sense that Oscar Piastri was negotiating with other teams, because he figured he wasn't going to be part of the Renault Academy anymore because he wasn't going to get a seat by 2023, which makes sense. So then yesterday, Otmar Szafnauer on Piastri's current position. Oscar and his camp are considering their options, whatever that means, which is just more confusion. And then Otmar Szafnauer is waiting for Mark Webber to respond to messages and emails regarding Piastri's situation. So now Piastri and Mark Webber, they just aren't responding. But maybe this is also because this is happening at like 2 in the morning. So at 2:14 a.m., Australian time, Oscar Piastri is announced to drive for Alpine in 2023. So Alpine is like, all right, it's the middle of the night. We're going to blackmail Oscar Piastri and Mark Webber, and we are going to announce him as part of our team. So like I said, Alpine announced that Oscar Piastri will be driving for them next year, but nothing has came from Mark Webber or Oscar Piastri. And then we get the tweet from Oscar Piastri 2 hours later, in the middle of the night, saying, I understand that without my agreement, Alpine F1 have put out a press release late this afternoon saying that I am driving for them next year. This is wrong and I have not signed a contract with Alpine for 2023. I will not be driving for Alpine next year. Which is also crazy because if he is contractually obligated, then guess what? He will be driving for Alpine next year. But why wouldn't he just say, I haven't signed a contract yet? Instead, he's saying, I will not be driving for Alpine next year, which basically is him saying he's not Like, he's not going to sign no matter what. But what if he is contractually obligated to sign? Or what if there's like a huge fine and McLaren's just like, okay, we'll pay that fine. That could be the case. So that is crazy that happened. And then you got to look at it from Alpine's position. Fernando Alonso kind of blackmailed them as well. And now Alpine might not get Fernando Alonso or Oscar Piastri, and they could end up with Daniel Ricciardo back with Esteban Ocon, which was just 2 years ago. And then Fernando Alonso posted a funny Instagram story. Who's just giving a thumbs up. But basically, Oscar Piastri rejecting teams before he even enters F1 is another crazy thing. 18 hours ago, Alpine believes that they are legally correct on the Piastri contract, but don't have anything further to say. Also, the Ricciardo to Alpine reports seem interesting now. Daniel Ricciardo has until September to take up his option with McLaren. This means that Ricciardo has 1 month to find another team before putting his future in McLaren's hands. Like I said, if Daniel Ricciardo can't go to another team, specifically like Alpine again, then maybe McLaren is just ready to spend a bunch of money and say, all right, we're going to buy you out, Daniel Ricciardo, and we're going to buy this legal battle between Alpine and Oscar Piastri as well. We're just going to spend a bunch of money and get Oscar in and Daniel out. Wouldn't that be interesting? I can't believe that. Also, Williams will be making an announcement in like 5 hours. That announcement is that it's actually pretty funny. Alex Albon said, "I understand that with my agreement, Williams Racing have put out a press release this afternoon saying that I'm driving for them next year. This is right, and I have signed a contract. I'll be racing for them." So Oscar Piastri also liked that tweet. But yeah, good to see there actually with Albon staying at Williams. I think he's done a good job. That's beyond the point, though. I just thought that was funny because it tied into the situation. 12 minutes ago, yesterday morning, Otmar Safnauer said he couldn't contact Piastri or his camp. A few hours later, Alpine decided to announce Piastri's promotion without telling him. And like I said, so this is still 12 minutes ago that Otmar still has not contacted Piastri or his camp. Like I said, absolutely crazy. What do you think is going to happen? My guess is that we are going to see... Here's my guess. Piastri will be racing with McLaren next year. There's two options. Piastri will be racing with McLaren next year, and McLaren will buy out Daniel Ricciardo. He will go to Alpine, and Nicholas Latifi will stay at Williams. That is my guess. Or Piastri is legally bound to Alpine. He's going to race for Alpine next year, but he's not going to want to race for them next year. Ricciardo will stay at McLaren. Latifi will stay. And then, of course, there's that. I think there's a better chance that Latifi stays now than Sargent coming in. But having Logan Sargent come in would make this silly season even sillier, having a Miami driver in the race, too. Or like in Formula 1. So that'd be pretty cool. But just what are your thoughts on this? How do you think this is all going to go down? It can't be good for Alpine, but they could end up without Alonso or Piastri, which is absolutely hilarious.